Hey guys, what is up? Mike here. Thanks for tuning in to another video. In this video, I want to touch on some of the frustrations and struggles that a lot of UX designers face on the job in their career and things that they deal with, and try to give you some food for thought on how to kind of maybe approach what it is that you do. When you speak to a lot of UX designers, a very popular struggle or frustration that a lot of UX designers face is not being able to do quote unquote real UX design work within their corporate environments. And there's many different reasons. They feel that their organization don't really understand UX design, they're being rushed to just kind of do design work and get the product through into market and things like that. They're not given enough time to weeks or whatever to do enough research and things like that, to really document enough, do enough studying and things like that. And so they feel like, when you compare what you do day to day, like in the real world, when you compare what you do day to day based on like UX design theory, there's a discrepancy. You're probably doing 10%, 15% of all the things that you could be doing, from a research standpoint, from a deep understanding of the user and things like that before you get to design, right? And that's a big frustration, which leads me to this idea of the title, which I'm going to talk about. But the truth is, I don't think that's going to change. I think that's the reality. I think we have a discrepancy amongst what we're being taught, what people talk about, and the popular terms that are in the market versus what a company actually needs. I believe companies need us, they need UX designers, but in my opinion, I think the best title for us is the product design title. Though it's not universally accepted yet, because it's a very confusing title. Product designer, are you designing toasters? Are you an industrial designer or whatnot? But a product designer is what you do, is what these companies need, is what a company needs. But in addition to that, you have this product designer title umbrella, and under that, you're utilizing UX design methods to understand the user and to build the best screens and whatnot. But you're not only doing UX design work, you're doing visual design work. You might be, in some cases, touching on helping front-end developers kind of build a product. Essentially, you're building products. You're a designer that is your product designer. Because when you think about what we do as digital designers, we're building products, right? These are products, these are apps. They're considered products. And we're designers, right? Now, under that product designer umbrella is the skill, the must-have, the understanding of UX design methods and principles, right? So that doesn't go away, but you also need UI visual design skills. In addition to that, you have to have an understanding of some research and things like that. In some cases, in some startups, they might even ask you, can you help out on the front-end development side? I know in my last year, I worked with an insurance company, and I did some front-end work. They paid me very well, and I did some front-end work using Webflow. And on top of what I was doing, though I was doing some research, I was doing some design, also doing some front-end development. So I was a designer. Though I put on my, it's not required, but I put on my front-end development hat, working within Webflow and producing some stuff. But the point here is, companies need designers. They need designers with experience and a deep understanding of UX design methods and principles, understanding how to understand what the user needs and designing based on the user needs, right? But not every time. And when I look back at most of the stuff that I did, I've only done 15 to 10% of what we were taught in the marketplace of what UX design is. I didn't do any card sorting, didn't do any user personas, I didn't do any of that stuff. I mean, it comes quick. Wireframing, sometimes we jump straight to high fidelity mockups because we know. And that's the reality. Think about this. If you start working for a startup today, And I'm like, I need you, I need your skill set, but I need you to, we want to copy TikTok. We want to build an app that's similar to TikTok. It's called Chicken Coop or something, right? Whatever. When I say, and you get that sometimes with leaders of a startup, leaders of a product organization, they already know what they want. Hey, let's copy Facebook. We're building a Facebook. We're building TikTok. We're building Instagram. At that point, do you need to take 3 months, 4 months to kind of do some research and understand the user? No. You are you know what's going on, right? We want to target the same. We want to target the same people. We want to compete with TikTok. Who are those people, right? You know they're kids. They're your 10-year-old. My 10-year-old daughter uses TikTok. Kids to upwards of 10 to 25, right? You don't have to do a lot of research. You can just do that within an hour or two, just kind of brainstorming, right? The point here is that's the reality of our job. That's the reality of corporate life. When you're in the corporate environment, in some cases, in some rare exceptions, you might get 6 weeks to kind of do some deep analytical studying of competitors and research and understanding who exactly you're targeting, build out some personas and things like that, wireframe some ideas, some concepts. But I would say over 85% of the time in a product-driven organization, which we work in, we're designing products, they already know what they want. Their sprints are basically scheduled, and there's no changing that development timeline. And you need to get those screens in, or you're gonna get left behind. They're gonna take the lead on it, and you'll have developers designing your screens, right? That's just the reality of our business. That's the reality of our thing. So what I think we need to start doing is, though the industry Google term that the titles that we go after when we go for jobs is UX design. UX design is the more popular title over product design, but essentially we need to start thinking about your product designer. You're a product designer, and you're just helping this organization build products and design products. And in that role, under that product design umbrella, you're doing all this stuff. And you're applying UX research, you're applying, UX design methods and principles. Now, at the end of the day, there's still 2 roles in this industry. There's 2 roles. There's the UX researcher that only specifically works day to day on research, going out there surveying, documenting things, understanding the user and things like that. Then you have the designer, which I consider to be, I think the product designer role title is still the best title that explains what we do. And those are the 2 roles that's in this, so that it won't be confused on interaction designer, UI designer. There's only 2. There's a UX researcher that works day to day on research, studying, researching, analyzing, user testing, all that stuff. And then there's the designer, the other part, right? So those are 2 roles still, besides what confusing title you use. But I still think, in my opinion, the product designer title is still the best title that fits what we do. Whether it continues to grow, whether companies start to understand that, but you'll see it, like at Netflix, they call it product designer. A lot of top tech companies understand this, and I think maybe it starts to become mainstream. But in the end, I still think it's going to be a confusing, volatile sort of situation going forward over the next few years. But anyway, that's my thoughts. Anyway, thanks for watching, guys. Hit me up in the comments below. I appreciate everybody who watches my videos, who likes my videos, who comments and things like that, who appreciates the YouTube videos and things that I put out on my channel. Be sure to comment, like, and also subscribe. At the end of my videos, I'm going to have this little circle now where you can click on my face, subscribe to my YouTube channel. I want to get to 100K. I'm close. It's been like 10 years. Let's get to it. Talk to you guys soon. Peace.